Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is aku.fatiyeu. I am from Faculty of Teacher Training Education and majoring in English Education from University Sriwijaya. And my student number is 0601128242965. And today I will make video to for learn some of basic English grammar. And without any further ado, just keep on watching.
For chapter 1, we have using be and have. Noun are a noun is a plural. What is plural? Plural means two, three, or more. Example, cats are animal. Cats a plural noun are a plural verb and animals a plural noun. Plural nouns and in as in cats and animals. Singular nouns that end in y have a special plural verb. The y, omit the y and add es. Example, cities and countries. Two nouns connected by and are followed by are. Example, Nana and Nisa are friends. Next, we have pronoun plus be plus noun. Do you know what pronoun is? Yes, we have a seven pronoun. Actually, are you we they, she, he, it. But the singular and plural pronoun is a different. For a singular, we have I, you, she, he, it. And for the be, we have are, is, and for plural, we have pronoun we, they, you. The be is are, just only are. And for example, um, noun for I am a mom, and you are a dad, and she is a nurse, he is a police, it is a country. And for plural, we have example, we are friends, they are students, and you are a student. So what is different between she and he? So for she, it's a feminine, like Tita. Yeah, it's a boy, it's a girl, I'm sorry. And for he is a masculine, like boy. Example, Rian. And next, we have contraction with be. When people speak, they often push two words together. A contraction is the two words that are pushed together. Example, I am become I'm, you are become your, we are become where, and they are become their, she is become she's, he is become his, and it is become its. Contraction are used both speaking and writing. The mark in the middle of contraction is called apostrophe. Next, negative with be. So, the point is not makes a sentence negative. Not can be connected with is and are. Contraction is plus not become isn't. Are plus not become are. Am and not are not contracted. An example, Lala is not a teacher. She is a nurse. So the contraction is isn't. And Nina and Fina are not teacher. The contraction is are. Rara and me are not classmate. The contraction is are. I am not student. So for I'm, we don't have any contraction. Be plus adjective. So, do you know what is adjectives? Adjectives describe or give information about a noun or pronoun that comes at the beginning of a sentence. Adjectives often follow a form of be, is, are. Example: round, intelligent, hungry, happy, and young. The form is noun, be, adjective. Example: I am beautiful. So, I is a noun, is a be, and beautiful is an adjective. Next slide. B. Location. What is location? A location may be one word. As example, here, there, downstairs, upstairs, inside, outside, and downtown. Example: Raya is upstairs, so the location is upstairs. A location may be a prepositional phrase. Example: a preposition plus a noun called prepositional phrase. Example: at the bus, at the bus. Some common preposition we have above, at, behind, between, for, in, next to, on, and under. Next, summary. Sentence patterns with be. So, the noun or pronoun that comes at the beginning of a sentence is called the subject. And what is be? Be is a verb. Almost all English sentences have a subject and a verb. And what is noun? A noun. Example: I am a student. An adjective: she is intelligent. The intelligent indicates adjective. An expression of location: we are in class. The location is in class. And next, we have yes no question with be. In question, be comes in front of the subject. Example: is she married? So the question is is. Be is. The subject is she. Is she married? When people answer a question, they usually give only a short answer, but sometimes they give a long answer too. Example: if the question is she a dog? Is she a student? And the answer is yes, she is, for the short one. And next, question with be using where. Where ask about location. Where comes at the beginning of this question in front of be. Example: if the question where the book is, the answer the book is on the table, for the long answer. And if you want the short answer, you can answer just on the table. Yes, as simple it. Next, using have and has. So there is different to use have and has. The difference is at the subject or pronoun. So for the plural, we have I, you, we, they. So if the subject is I, you, we, they, we have to use have. Example: I have a pen. So because the subject is I, so we have to use have. And for the singular, we have she, he, it. It use has. So, for example, he has a girlfriend. So, because the subject is he, so we have to use has. Okay, do you got it? And next, using my, your, his, her, our, their. So, this word are called possessive adjectives. They come in front of nouns. I will give you the list. So the subject form is I. The possessive form is my. If the subject form is you and the possessive form is your. If the subject form is we, the possessive form is our. If they, the possessive form is their. And she, her, and he, the possessive form is his. Okay, I will give some example. I love my boyfriend. And next, using this and that. So, this refers to something that is close, while that refers to something that is far away. As you can see at the example, this book, it means that the book you can touch it. So, you point it like this book. And if you use that, it means that the noun is far away from you. So, you cannot touch it. So, you just point it like from afar. Okay, next, using this and those. The difference between this, that, these, and those is that this and that are singular. It means that it's only one, not more, not two or three or more. And while these and those are plural. So, plural means it can be two, three, four, or more. Example, my pen are on my table. My pen are on my table and these are my pen. So there's difference between the first and second sentence. The second use this because the pen is more than one. Okay. Next, asking question with what and who plus be. Oh, we have to know the difference between what and who. What ask about thing. Example, what is this? If who ask about people. Example, who is that? In question, with what and who is followed by a singular word or is followed by plural word, the contraction. So as you can see, who is become whose and what is become what's. Okay, I hope you understand. It's knowing and it's hailing. And next, chapter 3, expressing present time, part 2. Be plus ing, the present progressive tense. The present progressive is also called the present continuous or the continuous present. Is a verb tense used to describe an action that is currently happening or a future plan. The form verb subject, be, and verb ing. Example, I am sitting in the class right now. So the subject is I, the be is the verb is sit plus ing. So it's become sitting. Next, present progressive question. The form is be subject plus ing. So the be is, subject is Mary, the verb is eat. So plus ing become eating. Is Mary eating? So the answer could be yes, she is for the answer for the short answer. Next, the simple present plus the present progressive statements. The simple present express habits or usual activities. For example, I sit in class every day. And the present progressive express action that are happening right now while the speaker is speaking. For example, the teacher writes on the board every day. Question. The simple present use do and does as helping verbs. Example, do you sit in class every day? And the present progressive use is are in question. For example, are you sitting in the class right now? Okay, next. The simple present versus the present progressive. Negative. For negative, the simple present use do and does as helping verbs in negative. For example, I don't sit in class every day. For simple progressive, use is are in negative. Example, I'm not sitting in class right now. And next, non-action verbs not used in the present progressive. Some verbs are not used in the present progressive. They are called non-action verb. For example, I am hungry right now. I want apple. So in sentence above, one is a non-action verb because one just express a physical or emotional need. need, not an action. So we have list of non-action verb. One, need, like, love, hate, hear, see, smell, taste, understand. Okay. So for the left one is a non-action verb, and for the right one is a action verb. Next, see, look at, watch, hear, and listen to. See is a non-action verb. Why? Because seeing happens because my eyes are open. So seeing is a physical reaction, not a planned action. For example, I see my cat in this room. Yeah, is a physical reaction, not a planned. And look at, an action verb. Why? Because looking is a planned action and happens for a reason. For example, I am looking at you. Watch. Watch an action verb. Why? Because watch use a time, like for a long time. But if we use look at, is it for a short time, like I'm watching TV. So we have to spend much time to watching TV. And here a non-action verb. Why? Because hearing is an unplanned action. It expresses a physical reaction. Example, I'm trying to study. I hear music from the next apartment. Listen to. Listen to an action verb. Why? Because listen happens for a purpose. Example, I have a tape recorder. I'm listening to music when I study. Next, need and want plus a noun or an infinitive. Need is stronger than want. Why? Because need gives the idea that something is very important. Need and want are followed by a noun or by an infinitive. Verb plus noun. Example, we need food. So the verb is need and the noun is food. And verb plus infinitive. The verb is we need to eat. So the verb is need. And the infinitive is to eat. What is an infinitive? Infinitive can be to plus the simple form of the verb. Yeah, for example, to eat. Next, would like. Want and would like is usually more polite than want. For example, I want a glass of water. And for contraction, would is usually contracted to D in speaking. For example, I would, you'd, you would, she'd, she would, he'd, he would, would, we would, they would. Would like plus infinitive. For example, I would like to eat a sandwich. So, like can be followed by an infinitive. The infinitive is to eat. Next, would like plus subject plus like. For example, would you like some tea? In question, would comes before the subject. Next, would like versus like. For example, I would like to go to the zoo and I like to go to the zoo. So, would like indicates that I want to do something now or in the future. Like indicates that I always, usually, or often enjoy something. So, that's the difference. Next, think about and think that. The verb is think about a noun. Example, I think about my family every day. An example, think that a statement. I think that she's lazy. People use think that when they want to say or to state their beliefs. And they use think about is used for present progressive. Think that is almost never used in present progressive. Next, there plus be. Example, there plus be is used to say something exists in a particular location. The form is there B. Subject location. Example, there is a bird in the tree. So, there, the B is and subject a bird. Location is in the tree. And next, there are four birds in the tree. Yes, there, B is are, subject is four birds, and the location is in the tree. And for contraction, if there is, we have there's, and for there are, it will become there are, there are. Next, there plus be, asking question with how many. Question form, how many subject are there plus location. How many chapters are there in this book? How many provinces are there in Indonesia? Next, prepositions of location. So, preposition of location are also called preposition of place. Example, my book is on my desk. So, on is a preposition. My desk is an object of preposition. And on my desk, a prepositional phrase. And we have some prepositions of location: above, behind, between, around, below, in, on, beside, and next to. In a country and in a city, on a street, avenue, road, at an address. 2. Expressing simple present times. So, do you know the meaning of the simple present tense? Okay, let me tell you. The simple present tense express habits. What is habits? Habits is a behavior that is repeat regularly and requires little to not thought. For example, eating. Eating breakfast is a habit because we always do eating breakfast, a usual activity. Use adverbs of frequency to indicate how often something happens. For example, every morning. It indicates that we always do that in the morning, like every morning in Monday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday. And for the singular, we have ayu, she, he, it. Example, I talk to my cat every day. And for the plural, we have we, you, they. Example, we talk every day. So the difference is only the subject, plural and singular. For the expression of time, we use every day. And we have to know for the third person singular has the final as in the verbs. For example, he loves me. The third person singular is she, he, it. Next, using frequency adverbs always, usually, often, sometimes, seldom, rarely, and never. So, frequency adverbs are words that describe how often something happens. Here are some examples of frequency adverbs like always, usually, often, sometimes, seldom, and rarely, never. As you can see, how often something happen. And the verb is subject, frequency adverb, and verb. Example, I always wake up at 3 in the morning. So I is the subject, always is a frequency adverb, and wake is a verb. So I'll always is indicate that something happen is 100%. Like it's always happen. Next, using frequency adverb with be. When using an adverb of frequency with the verb be, the adverb of frequency is placed after the verb. Frequency adverbs follow be. The form is subject, be, frequency adverbs. Example, Ergi is always sleep in the class. The subject is Ergi, the be is always, and the frequency adverbs is always. And frequency adverbs come before all simple present verbs expect be. Example, Ergi always sleep in the class. So in this sentence, the be is we don't use the be, just we always and the subject with the adverb of time only. Next, pronunciation of final s, z, and s, voice and voiceless. So we learn the difference between voice and voiceless. So some sounds are voiced. You use your voice box to make voice sound. For example, the sound right comes from your voice box, and the final sound in drive are voiced. And for final s is pronounced z after voice sound as in rubs. And for voiceless, some sound are voiceless. You don't use your voice box. You push air through your teeth and lips. For example, the sound P comes from air through your lips. For example, the final sound in right are voiceless. Final S is pronounced as after voiceless sound, as in rights. Next, spelling and pronounce of final ES. In English, the suffix ES is ate to the end of a word to create the plural when the words end in as, x, z, sh, or sh, like Chanel. Sh. This is done to make the pronunciation of the plural easier and to maintain the original. Es ending in is often used to form the plural of words that end in as, sh, and sh, x, and z. For example, bus become buses, and fox become foxes. Next, adding final s, es to words that end in y. Nouns and verbs are sometimes plural. For words that end in y, there is a rules for changing these words to the plural form. 1. If the y follows a consonant, then change the y to I and add es. For example, cry. So, end of the word cry is y. So you have to change it to I and add es. So it become cries. And 2, if the y follows a vowel, then add as. For example, pay become pays. Next, irregular singular verbs has, does, and goes. Have, do, and go have irregular forms for third person singular. Has, used for she, he, it. Example, she has a cat. Have, I, you, we, they. Example, I have a sister. Does, used for she, he, it. Example, she does her homework. Do, I, you, we, they. For example, I do my homework. Goes, used for she, he, it. Example, she goes to supermarket. Go, used for you, we, they. For example, they go to beach. Next, the simple present negative. To form a negative sentence in the simple present tense, add done or doesn't before the simple form of the verb. The difference between do not and does not. So do not use for ayuide and does not use for she he it. The contraction is done for do not and doesn't for does not. The form is subject, do not or does not, and verb. For example, She does not like pizzas. So the subject is she and use does not and the verb like. Next, the simple present tense yes no question. The form is does or do, subject and main verb. Example, do you like salad? Does he like tea? Do is used with first and second person singular and plural subject, as well as third person plural subject as in A, while does is used with this person singular subject as in B. As in point B, the main verb in question does not a final as. Because the final as is a part of does. So if we use does, so we don't have add as at the final of main verb. So if we use does he likes tea, so it's incorrect. And next example, are you a student? In this point, when the main verb is the form of be, do is not used. So because it's a interrogative sentence, we have to use be at the beginning of the sentence, like are. So we don't have to use do or not. Okay, next. So for the it's the simple question asking information question with where. So the form is where, do or does, subject and main verb. Example, do you live in Indonesia? Where do you live? And next we have continue. The next example is does she live in Indonesia? Where does she live? So in A and C question is a called yes or no question, and the answer could be yes or no because the question is do. And does and do, so the question, the answer is will be yes or no. And for the B and D question are called information question because use where. So the answer have to give information. Where ask for information about place. Next, the simple present asking information with when and what time. A question word is when, where, what time, who, and why. So we have form. The form is keyword. Keyword is a question word plus does or do, subject, and main verb. Example, if we using do, when do you go to class? So the question word is the when and use do. Subject is the you and main verb go to class. And if using does, when does Anna eat breakfast? So the question word is the when. Does, subject is the Anna, and main verb is the eat breakfast. So do you understand? Next, summary. Information question with be and do. The form for question with be is keywords be and subject. Example, where is your cat? And the form for question with do, keyword, do, subject, and main verb. Example, where do you live? So where is the keyword? Note, in question with be, the main and only verb. The verb follows be in simple present question with verbs other than be. Subject comes between do or does and main verb. And next, preposition of time. A preposition of time represents the timing of an activity that happens or will happen. List of preposition of time. on it at, using on instead in when referring to months. Example, I will visit my grandparents on July, and using at instead of in when referring to season. Example, I love skiing at winter, and using in instead of on when referring to days. Example, our anniversary is in Monday. Note, at for a specific time on the clock, and in specific month, year, the morning, afternoon, and evening. On for a specific day of the week or a special date. Next, using it to talk about the weather. In English, people usually use it when they talk about the weather. It is plus adjective is a description of the weather. For example, it's sunny today. It's hot and humid today. It's a nice day today. It plus verb ing description. This weather is happening now. For example, it's raining. So it's like information like it's raining right now. It's happening right now. It's snowing and it's hailing.
Okay, next, chapter
And
4.
next chapter.
We have nouns and pronouns. Nouns, subject and object. A noun is used as the subject of a sentence. A noun is used as the object of a verb. Example, as a noun, butterfly, fly. In this sentence, bird or butterfly is a noun and it is used as the subject of the sentence. And next, Ben is holding a bottle. In this sentence, bottle is a noun. It has the article a in front of it. A bottle is used as the end of the verb is holding. A noun is also used as the object of a preposition. Example, butterflies fly in the sky. The noun sky with the article in front is the object of the preposition in. And next, adjective plus noun. Adjectives describe nouns. In grammar, we say that adjectives modify nouns. The word modify means change a little. So, adjectives give a little different meaning to a noun. For example, weather, hot weather, nice weather, and bad weather. Adjectives come in front of nouns. Example, I like cold weather. So the adjective is a cold. So the noun is weather. So adjectives come in front of nouns. And another example is Alicia is a beautiful girl. So the beautiful is the adjective and girl is a noun. Note, an adjective can also follow be. The adjectives describe the subject of the sentence. Example, the weather is cold. So, the weather is a noun, is a be, and cold is the adjective. Next, we have subject pronouns and object pronouns. Subject pronouns and object pronouns are different types of pronouns that replace nouns and have different grammatical roles in a sentence. So, what is subject pronouns? Replace the nouns that performs in the action in a sentence. They are usually found at the beginning of the sentence, before the verb. Example of subject pronouns include I, we, he, she, they, or who. Example, I speak English. Yes, it's right. Because I is a appears become the verb speak. And next, object pronouns replace the noun that receive the action in a sentence. They are usually found after a verb or a preposition. Example of object pronouns include me, us, him, her, them, and whom. Example, he loves me. And notes, sometimes a pronoun reference to a noun phrase. Example, it reference to the while phrase or red book. Okay, next. Nouns, singular and plural. To make the plural forms of most noun, adds as. Example, for singular we have one pen, and when it becomes plural, it's two pens. So the end of the word is a as is a indicate that the noun is a plural. And two, end of a noun consonant plus y. So the plural form is a change y to I and add es. As I said before, for example, singular is a K and plural is a case. And next, end of a noun as, sh, as, and x. And a plural form is add es. For example, match. So the end of the word is ch, match. And the plural is a matches, es. And next, end of a noun consonant plus o. The plural form is add es. For example, if the singular is a tomato, so the plural become tomatoes. Yes. The end of the sentence we add es. And the last end of a noun consonant plus ow. So the plural form is add as. Example, for singular we have zoo, and then plural it will become zoos. Okay. Next, nouns, irregular plural forms. So we have singular and plural. So it's irregular. So it's tricky for some beginner. So the singular is a child and the plural become children. The singular foot and the plural feet. The singular man and the plural man. The singular mouse and the plural mice. The singular tooth and the plural teeth. The singular woman and the plural women. Example, Mr. Smith has one child. Mr. Cook has two children. Yeah, different child and children. So, because Mr. Smith has one, so it child, and but Mr. Cook has two, so it use children. Okay, you understand? Next, nouns, count and non-count. So, what is count and non-count nouns? Count nouns can be count and have a plural form, while non-count nouns cannot be count and do not have a plural form. So, as you can see, a count noun, singular, a plus noun, one plus noun. The plural is noun plus as. And non-count noun, the singular is do not use a because a is indicate singular, and do not use one because one is indicate singular count. And for plural, we have a non-count don't have a plural form. So the example for count noun, the singular a book, a indicate that the book is singular, and for plural books. So the plural add as at the end of the word, so it become plural.
And non-count noun singular is money, rice, salt, sugar. So it's don't have a plural because it cannot be count like salt. Who's can count how many salt she ate into his fried rice. And next, using an versus a. So I'm sorry. So and an are used in front of singular count nouns. Example: a dog is an animal. Use an in front of words that begin with the vowel a, e, u, e, o. Yeah. For example, I work in an office. So because the next word is office, o, so we use an. And use use an if words that begin with u has a vowel sound like you. It's we pronounce it like I have an uncle. No, we don't say I have an uncle. It's incorrect. And in some words that begin with H, the H is not pronounced. Instead, the word begins with a vowel sound and an is used. Example: I need an hour to finish my homework. Next, in most of words that begin with H, the H is pronounced. Yeah. Example: I see a honeybee. So there's difference between hour and honey. Next, using a or an versus some. A or an is used in front of singular count nouns. Example: I have a pen. So the pen is a singular. While some is used in front of plural count noun. Example: I have some pens. So the pens in is more than one because you have some. And next, some is used in front of non-counts noun. Example: I have some rice. Yeah, because no one can count how many rice she ate. Next, measurements with non-count nouns. Units if measure are used with non-count nouns to express a specific quantity. For example, a glass of, a cup of, a piece of. Example: I'd like some water, an unspecific quantity. And I'd like a glass of water, a specific quantity. Because in sentence 1, the sentence only say some. So we don't know some, one glass or two glass or more. And and the sentence 2 say I like a glass of water. So we know how many glass she want. Okay, next, using the. A speaker use the when the speaker and the listener have the same thing or person in mind. The shows that a noun is specific. For example, where's Joy? She's in the bedroom. Both A and B have the same kid bedroom in mind. And the is used with a singular count noun. Example: the book is black. Plural count noun. Example: the peppers are white. And noun count nouns. Example: the milk is white. Next, using no articles to make generally I'm so sorry. Using no article to make generalization. Okay. The symbol for no article is like this, as you can see. which is often used in explanation but not in actual writing. It indicates that no article is required before the noun phrase it introduces. Example: apples are good for you. Like, where are the apples? So the speaker is just speak. The apples are good for you. And the second is the apples were very good for you. Yeah, the apples. It indicates that the apples. So we have apples. It very good for you. In A, the word apple is general. It refers to all apple, any apples. No article is used. And in B, the word apple is specific because the speaker used the apple, so we know which apple. Next, using some in and any. Some is used in positive statement, while any is used in negative statements and use either some or any in a question. Positive example: I have some money. I have some money. I'm so sorry. And for negative, Briska doesn't have any money. And for question, it can use both any and some. For example, does Olive have any money? And does Siska have some money? Okay, do you got it? Next, indefinite pronouns: something, someone, anything, and anyone. In a statement, use something or someone. Example: Argy talked to someone after class. In negative sentence, use anything or anyone. Example: Olive didn't buy anything at the store. And in question, use either something or someone or anything or anyone. Example: Did Mark buy anything at the store? And did Fatia talk to someone after class? Okay, yes, simple. Next, indefinite pronouns: nothing and no one. So, anything is used when the verb is negative. Example: I didn't say anything. And nothing is used when the verb is affirmative. For example, I said nothing. And no one is used when the verb is affirmative. Example: Dian saw no one at it. And next, we have chapter 5: expressing past time. So, using be, past time. Simple past tense of be, singular: I, she, he, it. Example: we use was. The be is a was and were. Was for singular and were for plural. Example: I was in class yesterday. And for plural, were. You, we, they. Example: they were at home yesterday. Next, past of be, negative. Negative contraction: was plus not is wasn't. Were plus not is weren't. Example: word is used for I, she, he, it. Example: she wasn't at home yesterday. And wasn't for you, we, they. Example: they weren't in class yesterday. Next, past of be, questions: yes or no questions. So the subject plus be, the question is, were you in class yesterday? So where is a be, you is a subject. And the next, was she at home last night? So Was is a be, subject is a she. Information question. So, where indicates information question. For example, where were you yesterday? So, where is a keyword and where is a be. And you is a subject. Next, the simple past tense using ed. Form is a verb plus ed. It indicates the simple past tense. Example, on walked to school yesterday. So the verb is walk. So we add ed. It indicates the simple past tense. So the adverb of time yesterday, it's for the past tense. Next, past time words yesterday, last, and ago. Note, yesterday is used with morning, afternoon, and evening. For example, she was here yesterday morning. And last is used with night, with long periods of time, week, month, year, with season, spring, summer, and eight, and with days of the week. Example, Yuna was here last night. Ago means in the past. It follows specific lengths of time. Example, 2 minutes ago, 5 years ago. Example, Mark was here 5 minutes ago. Next, pronunciation of ed, t, d, and it. Final ed pronunciation t if a verbs and in voiceless sound. For example, help, it's so the right the word right is help. It become it we pronounce helped. And this final ed is pronounced ed if a verb ends in the letter v or t. For example, need it. Yes, need it. And final ed is pronounced d if the simple form of the verb and in a voice sound. For example, rabbit, rabbit. We pronounce this rap. Okay. Next, spelling of ed verbs. So we have some rules. Rule 1, end of verb of if a consonant plus e. So we have to add d. For example, smile becomes smiled. And rule 2, if the one vowel plus one consonant, so we have to double the consonant and add ed. As the example, stop become stop it. And rule 3, if the word is two vowel and one consonant, we have to add ed, but we do not double the consonant. For example, rain become rained. And rule 4, if the word have two consonant, we have to add ed, but we do not double the consonant. Example, count become count. So, I'm so sorry, it's mistaken. And rule 5, if the word consonant plus y, we have to change y to I and add ed. For example, study becomes studied. And rule 6, if the vowel plus y, we have to add ed, but we don't have to change y to I. Example, play become plate. And next, spelling of ed and ing, two-syllable verbs. Some verb have two syllables. For example, visit has two syllables. Face plus it. In the word visit, The stress is on the first syllables. For two syllables, verbs that end in vowel and a consonant, the consonant is not double if the stress is on the first syllable, as in visiting and visit. The consonant is double if the stress is on the second syllable, as in admitting and admitted. And next, the simple past irregular verbs. Some verbs do not have ed form. The past form is irregular, so it's a little tricky. Also, we have the present verb. Come become came, do become did, eat become ate, get become got, go become went, have become had, put become put, see become saw, sit become sat, sleep become slept, write become wrote. Example: I come to class every day, and I came to class yesterday. Next, the simple past yes or no questions. So the form is did. So did is indicates past question, like something already happened. Did subject and main verb. For example, did Mary walk to school? The short answer is yes, she did. And next, more irregular verbs. So we have present verbs and past verbs. Bring become brought, buy become bought, cat become caught, drink become drunk, drive become drop, read become read, it is still, write become wrote, run become run, teach become taught, think become taught. Next, the simple past using where, when, what time, and why. For example, where did you go? Why did you run? When did then come? So, what time usually ask especially for time on a clock. For example, what time didn't come? So, we have to answer it with time. Yeah, on a clock. Example next. Question with what? Units if me, sir are used with non-count noun to express what is used in a question when you want to find out about what thing. Who is used when you want to find out about a person. The form is keyword, helping verb, subject, main verb. Example, what did you buy? So the keyword is what, helping verb is did, subject is you, main verb is a buy. Next, asking about the meaning of a word. Example, what does pretty mean? What is the meaning of pretty? So these two sentences have the same meaning. Next, more irregular verbs. So as you can see, so can you read it by yourself? Yeah? Okay, I will give you some time to practice. And next, before and after and time clauses. So, what is clause? Okay. A clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. A main clause is a complete sentence. So, that we see the form is before plus subject plus verb is a time clause. And after subject plus verb, a time clause. Example, I ate breakfast before I went to class. So the main clause is I ate breakfast. So the time clause is before I went to class. So before and after is indicate time clause. before and after in the time clause. A clause next. When in time clause. When can introduce a time clause. When subject and verb, a time clause. Example, when the rain stopped. When is also used to introduce question. A question is a complete sentence. A time clause is not complete sentence. And next, we have chapter 6, expressing future time. So, future time using be going to. Be going to express or talked about the future. So the form is be going infinitive. Example, I am going to be downtown tomorrow. So I am is a subject, be going to downtown tomorrow. And negative, we have be not going to. Example, I'm not going to downtown tomorrow. So just we add the not in the sentence. Next, words used for past time and future time. For past, we have adverb of time, yesterday, last night, minutes ago, weeks ago. Example, it rained yesterday. As I said before, it is express the past time. And for future, we have tomorrow, next week, next summer, in weeks, next winter. Example, it's going to rain tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow it indicate that it's a future plan. Okay, next, using a couple of or a few with ago for past and in future. Numbers are often used in time expression with ago and in. A couple of and a few with are also commonly used. A couple of means two. For example, a couple of months ago, it means 2 months ago. And a few means a small number, not a large number. Example, a few weeks ago. It means 3, 4, or 5 weeks ago. Okay, next, using today, tonight, and this plus morning, afternoon, evening, week, month, year. Okay, these words can express present, past, or future time. Example for present, we have we are studying English right now. So the verb in it indicates that the it happening in the present. And past. Example, Nancy went downtown this morning. So the sentence is used verb for past is when. When is a verb 3 form go. Yeah, yeah, it indicates that the event has happened. And next for future we have I am going to go to the school this evening. Nah, the going to is indicate that the event is a future plan. Next, future time using will. So, will used to talk about the future. We also use will to make predictions, talk about decisions, and to make promise, offers, requests, and threats. So, I will give some example for statement and negative statement. So, for positive, we have are you will going to the library tomorrow. So, will is a indicate future plan. So we have to add tomorrow. And for negative, just add the not. Sia will not be here tomorrow. So it's same, but for negative, you have to add not as a negative. Okay. Next, future time using will. So this a future time. Contraction for future time is will contracted to ul with subject pronouns. These contractions are common, like I will come. You can contract it become I'll come, and you will come, you'll come, she will come, she'll come. And for negative contraction, we have will not. It's called be won't. I'm so sorry. Next, asking question with will. The form for question is keyword, will, subject, and main verb. For example, will you come tomorrow? So, keyword is can be where, when, and who, but we don't use it in the sentence. Just will you come tomorrow? So will the subject is you and main verb is come tomorrow. The short answer is yes, I will. Next, we have verb summary, present, past, and future. So I will give you conclusion for present, past, and future. So I will give us some example. Okay, we go for from simple present. So for statement, I eat lunch every day. So it use verb one and use adverbs of time every day. It indicate habits. So for negative, we add done. Done, it indicate that negative. Yeah, the verb is same, eat, verb one. And for question, we have question at the beginning of the sentence. Do you eat dinner? Yeah, it a simple present. And for simple past, for statement, we have he cried a lot yesterday. So the verb one plus ed because it have a well, I'm so sorry, consonant in front of y actually. So we have changed the y to e and add ed. So it indicates a past verb. So the adverbs of time yesterday is for simple tense or simple past tense. I'm sorry. And for negative, we add didn't. So it's a different for the simple present, it's a do, and for simple past, did. So if did plus not, because it's negative, so it become didn't. Eat breakfast is same. And for question, we have did you eat breakfast? As I say before, for simple past we use did, and for simple present we use do. And next, present progressive. For statement, she is studying English right now. So the studying and right now is indicate present progressive. Studying. So study plus ing. It's indicated even is happen right now. And for negative, we have she is not studying English. So is plus not become isn't. The verb still same. And for question, we have is she studying English? Yeah, okay, because she is the verb of she is. So we use is at the beginning of a question sentence. And we going to for statement I am going to eat breakfast in the morning. So yeah, be going to be going to. Okay, and for negative we have I am not going to eat. I'm so sorry. So we have be not going to, just eat not for the negative one. And for question, am I going to see you tomorrow? So for question, the be is in front of sentence, like in at the beginning of a sentence, indicates that the statement is a question. So will for statement, we have I will see you tomorrow. And for negative, we have I don't go to school tomorrow. And for question, will I see you tomorrow? Yes. Next, we have verb summary, forms of be. So, for simple present, the be is, as I say, is, are. Yeah. And for statement, we have I am from Aussie. Negative, I am not from Indonesia. Question, am I in the right place? And for simple past, we have be, was, and were. So for statement, we have I was late yesterday. Yesterday. And for negative, I wasn't on time. It means I was not on time. And for question, was she in class? The be is before simple past and be going to. The statement, I am going to be late. And for negative, I am not going to be late. And for question, am I going to be late? Okay, for will, we have statement she will be at home next week. Will next week. It indicates that the plans is going to be in the future. So you are still planning it. And for negative, we have she won't be at home tomorrow or she will not be at home tomorrow. And for question, will she be at home next week? Okay, did you get it? Next, using what plus a form do. What plus a form of do is used to talk about activities. For example, what do you do every day? So, every day it means present habits. And for past, what did you do last week? Last week. And did it means the event has happened in the past. And for future, what we'll do in class tomorrow? Will tomorrow it indicates that the event is planning to be happen in the future. Next, may, might versus will. May versus verb is a simple form. Express a possibility in the future. Example, it may rain tomorrow. And might has the same meaning as may. Yes, it's same, but the difference is in the using. Example, it might rain tomorrow. So, actually, there is difference between example 1 and example 2, but the means is the same. So, in sentence 1, speaker use will. I'm sorry. So, yeah, this one. So, for the sentence 1, speaker use may because he feels sure about something. And for sentence 2, use might or might to say something that you don't feel sure about it. Like will be or may be at the meeting tomorrow. Okay. Next, may one word versus may two word. So the adverb may be as here one word means possibly. Like maybe Sinta will be here is possibly. And maybe two words is used as the verb of a sentence. Example, maybe he will be in class tomorrow, and maybe he won't. Next, future time clauses with be or after and when. A future time clause use the simple present tense, not will or be going to. Example, before I go to Aussie tomorrow, I will meet you. It's a simple present tense. And for future time clause, we use after I eat dinner tonight. When I go New York next month. Yeah, it indicates after and when. Future. Next, clauses with if. An if clause begin with if and has a subject and a verbs. Example, if it's rain tomorrow, we won't go out to swimming. So, if it's rain tomorrow, it indicates if clause. Rain tomorrow. And we won't go out to swimming, it main clause. And any clause can come before or after a main clause. Example. So, in example 1 is before the main clause and example 2 is after in main clause. When we'll stay home? We will stay home if it rains tomorrow. And next, expressing habitual present with time clauses and if clauses. Habitual present. So, habitual present express activities. So, the simple present is used both in the time clause and the main clause. Example, she always has a cup of tea. Okay, next, irregular verbs. So, it's regular verbs and these irregular verbs. I will give you some time to practice. Okay, next. So, we have continue. You can practice to
Okay,
pronounce
next
it very
chapter
well.
is chapter 7, expressing ability. Using can. Can express ability and possibility. Example, I have some money. I can buy a car is a possibility. And the simple form of main verbs follow can. Example, I can speak English. So, speak is a main verb, so can is follow speak. And an infinitive with to does not follow can. Example, I can to speak English. To speak is an infinitive, so can is not follow the infinitive, so is incorrect sentence. And the main verb never has final s. So you can speak English. No, it's incorrect because is the main verb never has final s. And we have negative. Negative can plus not is a cannot. And contraction we have cannot become can't. Okay. Next, using can question. We have a form question for using can. The form is keyword is a question word, can, subject, and main verb. Example, where can I borrow your book? So, where is a question word, can, subject is a I, and main verb borrow your book. Okay? Next, using know how to. So, know how to we use to express ability. Example, I know how to swim. So, the speaker is express ability that she or he know how to swim. She able to swim. Okay, next, using could past of can. Could is the past of form of can. It refers to an ability that a person generally had in the past or to something that was generally possible in the past. For example, I was in Bali last week. I could go to the beach every day when I was there. So is the ability that the speaker do in the past. And for negative, we have form could not is a couldn't. Example, I couldn't go to the class yesterday. Couldn't yesterday is a mean that passed. And question, we have form could, subject, and main verb. So, could, subject is a you, main verb, speak Indonesian before you came here. Next, using very and to plus adjective. Very and to come in front of adjective. So, as example below, you can see very come to in front of adjective. Heavy. Heavy is adjective. And also to come in front of adjective. So let's we see. Example, the book is very heavy, but I can lift it. And the book is too heavy, I can't lift it. So there is a difference. It actually very and to have a same meaning. But in speaker minds, the use of to implies a negative result. As you can see, to. So the speaker used to because she or he can't leave it, and use very because she can leave it. Okay, next. Using too many and too much plus noun. So, too is frequently used with many and much. So, what is different? So, too many is used in front of count nouns. Example, I ate too many eggs. Eggs is a count noun. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 till I don't know. And next, I'm sorry, too much is used in front of noun count nouns. Example, I add too much sugar. Sugar is a noun count noun because who can count the sugar? One sugar, two sugar. And next, using to, adjective, and infinitive. The form is to, adjective, infinitive. Fatia is too young to be rich. So Fatia is a subject, is a be, to, adjective is a young, and to be rich is the infinitive. Okay? Next, using to adjective for someone plus infinitive. So we see the form is to adjective for someone and infinitive. Example, the book is too heavy is adjective, for someone is a verb, and infinitive is to live. Oh, you can see it. Okay, next. Using adjective plus enough. So we use enough. So enough follows an adjective. For example, adjective plus enough. So old enough, loud enough, warm enough. So you can see for a while. And next slide. Using enough plus noun and more plus noun. So, what is different between more and enough? So, more is additional and enough is sufficient. So, more comes in front of noun. Example, I need more money. More and money is a noun. So, enough comes in front of noun. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. Yeah. More is used for additional and enough is used for surveillance. Next, using enough infinitive. An infinitive is a verb form that is usually preceded by the word to. The form is adjective enough infinitive. Example, I don't have enough money to buy a new car. Okay, next. Using be able to. So, be able to is a verb phrase used to discuss abilities, possibilities, or the success of a failure of an action. Example, For present, we have I am able to touch my toes. So the speaker is able to touch he or her or his toes. And next for future, we have I will be able to go shopping tomorrow. Will be able. Tomorrow is indicate future plans. And past, I wasn't able to go out last night. Wasn't last night is indicate past. Next, polite question. May I, could I, and can I? So, can I is used to express ability or capability in the present tense. Can is commonly used in informal or general situation. Example, can I borrow your friend? Is a informal or general situation, so we use it with our friends or our mother, yes, our family, we can use it. And could is used to talk about past abilities. Example, she could run really fast before the incident. And may is the most informal way to ask permission. Example, may I have your attention is more polite than can. Next, polite question, could you and would you? Could is more commonly used in question, while would is more commonly used in a report speech. Could can be used to make polite requests. Example, could you please open the door? While would can be used to make invitation or offers. For example, would you like some ice cream? Is offers. Next, imperative sentence. Imperative sentence give order, direction, and advice. An imperative sentence use the simple form of a verb. Example, close, sit, be, and age. Example, close the door, Gina. It's cold outside. Next, using and to. So, what is difference? To, and to have the same pronunciation. So two use for a number. Example, I have two cats. And two means also more or very. Example, she's too young. And to a preposition or action or range. Example, I'm going to the cinema. So how to difference the three of two, and
Okay,
two?
next we have chapter 8,
Okay.
noun, adjectives, and pronouns. Modifying nouns with adjectives and nouns. So, adjectives can modify nouns. Example, I bought an expensive car. Expensive is a adjective and car is a noun. And nouns can modify other nouns. Example, I bought a grammar book. So grammar is a noun and book is a noun. Next, word order to adjectives. Adjective follow a particular order. Example, a large red car. Opinion adjectives usually come before all other adjectives. Example, a beautiful young woman. So beautiful is the adjective and young is the adjective. And usual word order of adjectives. So for the first one is opinion, and second size, and three is age, and four color, five nationality, and six materials. So you have to. It's important when you are making a sentence. So, for example, a beautiful, small, old, brown, gray metal coin. So, opinion is a beautiful, and size is a small, and age is a old, and for color is a brown, and nationality is a gray, and materials is a metal coin. Next, expression of quantity, all of, most of, and some of. So, all of
Most of and some of express quantities. All of for 100%. For example, Nisa ate all of the food on her plate. All of is indicate 100%. And most of is a large part but not all. Example, Ergi ate most of his food. Most of, not all. And some of a small or medium part. Example, Olive ate some of her food. Next, common expression of quantity. All of, almost all of, most of, a lot of, whole of, and some of. Example, all of my friends are crazy. So all of my friends are crazy is I think 100%. And all of my fork is a finish. Next, expressions of quantity, one of and none of. One of is followed by a specific plural noun. Example, Olive is one of my friends. And when an of plus a plural noun is the subject of a sentence, is followed by singular verbs. Example, one of my friends is here. Singular verb. And none of or none or not one of. The verb following none of plus a plural noun can be singular. Example, none of the students was late. Next, using every. Every as a determine is used to modify and describe a singular noun and it is used three concepts. One, every is not immediately followed by of. Every is immediately followed by a singular noun, not a plural noun. The form is every singular noun, singular verb. For example, every student has a pen. And two, everyone and everybody are followed by a singular verb. Example, everybody has a handphone. And everything is followed by a singular verb. Example, everything is okay. Next, possessive noun. To show that person possesses something, add an apostrophe like this. And add as to a singular noun. Possessive noun, singular. Noun plus apostrophe plus s. Example, my friend's car is red. Like this is a possessive. And possessive noun for plural. Noun plus s and apostrophe. Example, the students' books are red. Next, possessive irregular plural nouns. Irregular plural nouns, children, men, women, people, have an irregular plural possessive forms. The apostrophe comes before the final s. Example like this. For regular plural possessive noun, the student's book. For irregular possessive noun, the women's book. You see the difference? Next, possessive pronouns mine, yours, his, hers, our, theirs. So it called possessive adjective. My become mine, your become yours, her become hers, his, our become ours, their become theirs. A possessive adjective is used in front of noun. Example, my book is a possessive adjective. My book. A possessive pronoun is used alone without a noun following it. That book is mine. I'm so sorry. It's mistaken. Next, question with those. Whose ask about permission. Whose is often used with a noun. Whose book is this? I'm sorry, the title is question with whose. Next, summary, use of the apostrophe. Use of the apostrophe. with contraction of pronouns and is and are. With contraction of noun, an is, Tom's, Thomas. With contraction of some question word and is. Example, who is, whose. With negative contraction, isn't, aren't, wasn't, weren't, doesn't, don't, won't, can't. As I said before, if you forgot, you can go to slides before. Summary use of noun. Nouns are used as one subject of a sentence. Example, birds fly. So, the bird is a subject and fly is a verb. So actually now the verb is a noun. And two, objects of verb. Example, can open the door. So can is a subject, open is a verb, and the door, it can be nouns or objects. Next, three, objects of a preposition. Birds fly in the sky. So the subject is bird and the verb is a fly. In is a preposition and the sky is an object of preposition. And four, noun complements after be. For example, Mia is a mom. So Mia is a subject, is a be, and a mom is a noun complement. Next, possessive. I like Mark glasses. So Mark is a noun, and a glasses is a noun. As you can see, is a the apostrophes plus s. Next, connected noun. Noun plus an or plus noun. And can connect it to or more nouns. Example, the subject if it's two noun. Bird and airplanes fly. As you can see, birds in airplane is a noun. So they're connected by an in the middle. And if the subject is a three nouns, I have a book, a pen, and a pencil. So the an is a at the third noun. Next, summary use of adjectives. So adjectives describe noun. They give information about nouns. Example, I bought a beautiful flower. Beautiful is adjective and flower is a noun. And adjectives can follow be. The adjectives describe the subject of the sentence. Example, the be is a word. So, adjective follow be. Be the adjective is beautiful. Next, adjective can follow a few other verbs. These verbs are called linking verbs. Example, I feel good. Feel is a linking verb and good is adjective. Next, indirect objects. An indirect object is a word or phrase that receives the direct object in a sentence. Example, A. I wrote a letter to Alex. And B. I wrote Alex a letter. So the difference is in the object. A and B have the same meaning. The preposition to is not used when the indirect object is first and the direct object is second. So the difference between A and B you can see and you can read it. Next, indirect object using for. So, with some verb, for is used with indirect objects. With this verb, the indirect objects follow the direct object. Example, John opened the door. So, John opened the door for me. For is not omitted. The position of the indirect object is not changed. Next, indirect object with by, get, make. With the verbs by, get, and make, two patterns are possible. So,
For introduce the indirect object or the directed object precedes the indirect
So
object.
we have chapter
The
9,
indirect
making
object
comparison. So comparison using the same is as similar to and different from. So let's we learn the different. The same as used to indicate that two things are similar or identical. As the example, A and B is similar and identical. So the sentence is A and B are the same. And next, similar to means two or more things are similar or have a common feature, but are not identical. Example, C and D. C and D is similar, but are not identical. So the sentence is C and D are similar, not the same, and different from, used as an adjective to describe something that is unlike in kind or character. Example, E and F. There is no identical and similar. It's different. So the sentence is E and F are different. Next, comparison using like and alike. Like, similar to. Alike, similar. Like and alike have the same meaning, but the sentence patterns are different. The pattern is, for like, we have this plus be plus like plus that. Example, your bag is like my bag. And for alike, we have pattern this and that plus be plus alike. Example, our pants are alike. And the comparative using er and more. In English, the suffix er is used to form the comparative of short adjectives, while words more and or less are used before long adjectives. So we see the short one. For short adjective, add the or variation of it. For example, noisy, noisier, happy, happier. And for long adjectives, add the words more or less before the adjectives. For example, crowded become more crowded, stressful become more stressful. Next, using but. But gives the idea that this is the opposite of that. Example, Sia is rich, but Mia is poor. So, but Mia is poor is opposite from Sia is rich. A comma in that sentence is usually precedes but. Next, using verbs after but. The form is affirmative plus but negative verb. So the affirmative is the beginning and the negative is the end of the sentence. Example, I was in class, but Yena doesn't. And the next is a opposite. So the affirmative and negative is change place. The beginning is a negative verb and but an affirmative verb. Example, Ergi isn't rich, but Fatia is. Next, the superlative using est and mos. Comparative, the comparative using or more to compare two things or more. Example, my boyfriend is older than me. So, in the sentence is a compares two things, my boyfriend and me. And for superlative, we use superlative or most to compare three or more things or people. So example, I am the prettiest girl in the class. In the class is so many people. Next, using one of plus superlative plus plural noun. The superlative often follows one of. The pattern, one of plus superlative plus plural noun. For example, Fatia is one of the most intelligent people in our class. Next, adjective and adverbs. So, an adjective describes noun. Example, Bob is a good father. So, the adjective is a good and the noun is Bob. So, it's tell that Bob is a good father. And an adverb describe the action of a verb. Example, Anne drives carefully. So drive is a verb and carefully is adverbs. Note, most adverbs are formed by adding y to an adjective and making comparison with adverbs. Use more and most with adverbs and in li. For example, comparison more slowly, and for superlative, the most quickly. Use er and es with irregular adverbs. For example, hard, fast, early, late. Comparison, harder. Superlative, the latest. Better and best are formed in the adverb well. Next, using as blank 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 with adverbs. The pattern as plus adverb plus as. So, the example, he doesn't study as hard as his brother did. The pattern as adverb as is frequently followed by subject, can or could, or by possible. Example, I'm walking as fast as I can. Okay? Thank you. With the verbs explain and introduce, example, the teacher explained the grammar to us. To is used with the indirect object, and the indirect object always follows the direct object.